Well, we're just going to conclude with a couple of quick thoughts and notes concerning the sabbatical. You can be seated for the moment. Today is my final Sunday before going out for 3 months, and then some of the leadership just wanted to come up and pray for my family and I as we endeavor into this adventure. And so just an acknowledgement that this is something that we've been planning for months and talking about for years with some of the leadership in the church and working with our denomination. And this is not a responsive or a reactive sabbatical. This is planned and intentional. And I am just so thankful for the support that we've received from people through conversations and comments and just the unity that our church is experiencing. In this, I think that there could be a lot of confusion. There could be a lot of trying to read in between the lines and figure things out. And what I just love is our church is just saying, no, this is a good thing. There is value to taking an intentional break and biblical principles of Sabbath and stopping and avoiding pastoral burnout. And there is a purpose that it is beyond just Sean gets away for a vacation. There is purpose that it is really about that intentional time with Jesus over this period of time where he is knocking and I'm going to open the door and say, Jesus, what do you want to say? What do you want to do? Getting counseling, spending time in a monastery, intentionally focusing on my family, these sorts of things. And I'm excited to think about the benefits that'll come from this. Not just for myself. I know that it will be beneficial to me and my family, but also my heart and scope of vision is far beyond myself. It is for our church. And I'm just thinking about the benefits as our church grows together on mission and more people just stepping into different responsibilities and roles and filling needs and helping and doing things. And I mean, one of the practical things on this that I wanted to point out that is, I think, already a benefit, and we haven't even left yet, is the launching of a care team. We've got this care team that we've begun to assemble, and they are going to help pray and follow up with prayer cards and ministry needs and practical needs and support. That when you fill out a prayer card, someone's going to call you or respond to you or email you and connect with you, and mobilizing other volunteers. Let's say there's somebody in our church that needs their lawn mowed because they were in the hospital, or they need a meal train because they can't do meals right now, or it's a time where they just could use some help. We want to mobilize more volunteers in this way, and this care team is going to be helpful in doing that. And I'm excited. To me, that's a huge benefit that's coming from this, is that people are stepping into this and we're finding opportunities to care and love and serve our church even more. And in the practical side, again, just reiterating, this is an intentional step for me of for a season, just pausing communication and pausing face-to-face time with people in our church. And with that, it is, I'm not going to respond to calls and texts and emails and all of that. I won't be rude if I see it Target or see it around. But with it, with that intentional pause, my wife, April, just really helped me see it's not a disconnect of heart. It's just a disconnect of communication for a period of time. That my heart is still vastly overflowing with care and compassion for the people of our church. And part of me in my brokenness and needing to fix things is that if somebody texted me and said, hey, we're hurting, or hey, this is happening, or does that make sense? Like that face-to-face or that communication would then spur me into pastoral care mode, and I would want to care because I do care, and I would want to do something and be busy. And here's the challenge that I think God is going to do in me that I just recently had recognized. I have trouble empowering other people and letting go. And here I have, for 3 months, I have to trust that Jesus has his church better than I ever could. And that he's got great people to care and take care of things and be there. And whether it's volunteer or some of our ministry staff, our interim pastor, Pastor Tammy, and all of these wonderful that God has assembled for this season. And so much of my identity and my worth and my validation is tied into what I do. And maybe you can relate to that in your own sphere, in your own world. And I can already start to see God is wanting to just chip away at. Sean, you're more than what you do. You're more than your title. You're more than your responsibilities. And so for 3 months, can you just trust other people to do it better than you ever could? And they've got it, and we've got it taken care of. And I think with that, it's just, that's what I mean. It's a disconnect of face-to-face time. It's a disconnect of communication, but it's not a disconnect of care and heart. And so I do love our church so deeply and care a lot about it, and really excited about what God's going to do in this period of time. And so would you just keep us in prayer? Would you pray for Pastor Tammy as she comes? And some of us know Tammy, and some of us have met her before. Some of you, that's going to be a new face and a new voice. But she loves and cares for our church, and she wants to be available for things, and wants to be accessible for pastoral meetings and coffee and prayer and support and those sorts of things. So we've got ministry teams and leaders and people in our church you could be praying for, just the people in your church. And then also just pray for April and I and our family during this period of time. And can I ask this just in a very practical, logistical side of it? Would you honor and protect her boundaries to not try to get to me through her, and help other people respect that boundary? Because as much as I think people are like, yeah, we'll protect that for Sean, let's not forget that two become one, and we share and live together. And sometimes I've seen it in ministry and in our 10 years here, is people want to respect, and they forget that, like, she still has boundaries too. And so would you just honor that and respect? And I know you will, but I just wanted to voice that and just say, would you just lift us up in prayer and just support us? And thank you for your love and your care in this time. And I want to welcome Josh up. He's going to just say a few things, and then we're going to pray.
Yeah, so I had the honor of serving on the council at the time that Pastor Sean first kind of brought this to the leadership. So as you said, this wasn't just like spur of the moment. This has been years in the making. And we talked about it, and the more we talked about it as a council, we're all like, yeah, this is a really good thing. This is a huge thing. And I'll say, for me, I was a pastor for 15 years, as some of you know, and I never had that opportunity. And it hurt. I at the time, I didn't realize it, but I can see how incredible how important this is. This is not some little luxury. This is just one aspect you probably don't think about for a pastor, is that when you're a pastor, you're really on a stage to an extent, and you have to represent Christ and in all your actions. And it can be very easy to just not quite act it out, but you're good because it's your job. And for 3 months, it's like you have to be good for nothing, right? Yeah, but sorry, I couldn't pass that one up. But really, it's just like to have that time where he can found his own faith apart from the limelight. And so that's an incredibly beneficial thing for him, and to hear from God, and to have his soul built and kind of find out what are some of those areas where the church's ministry has become an idol and things like that. And then in the same way for us, it's for all of us, it's a reminder that the Lord is our shepherd. The Lord is our pastor. And, that it won't fall apart without Pastor Sean. And a reminder for us that it won't fall apart without Pastor Sean. And I was talking to Aaron's brother-in-law the other day. He's another pastor in town, and he's going on sabbatical. And he made this observation that he's had to get everything set up for when he leaves, and he's realizing that when he comes back, all these people have been empowered to do these things, and it's going to keep on running. And the hope is that means that he'll be able to, and you'll be able to go on to do new things because we've been empowered. So in so many ways, sorry to drag this out, what's already been said, I'm just so excited. This is such a beneficial thing, and is something, an encouragement to us not to coast and just wait for the 3 months to be over, but to move forward.